Hello everyone and welcome back to the Monk Job Quests with the Pursuit of Power and the One-Arm Punch. Professor Eric would have you do his bidding yet again. Of course he would. Oh, into a cutscene this time. Well, a semi-cutscene. You two played me for a fool. The data this simpleton monk brought me was absolutely astounding, groundbreaking, revolutionary. Yet I remained objective in my analysis, as a scholar must. Poring over the data, I finally arrived at a disheartening conclusion. The two of you took measurements of the same area. The values were near identical. Equivalences mocking me as I struggled to reconcile them. I could neither sleep nor eat, lest I waste time not drawing nearer the truth. And for what? Tell me, what is it you two are doing in the field? Bah! Not this bloody chakra nonsense again! How many times must I tell you? It is naught but imperceptible ether. Call it what it is. And to think I had a mind to put your names under mine when my hypothesis was published. This life force, this spiritual energy, this godforsaken eternal soul essence, I care not what primitive nomenclature those backward monks wish to assign it. It is ether, plain and simple. They claim that they are able to manipulate and amplify it through discipline and the opening of the so-called chakra. False! This is nothing more than the ethereal regulation of organisms, a basic and natural concept. In an attempt to explain that which science does not yet fully understand, the monks have erected an institution of control. Their preachings are unassailable by design, for none can disprove the existence of the unknowable. They promise power in return for abjection and servitude, control and power indeed. Only that of man. It is the very essence of a religion, and should be treated with contempt, as all religions should. Ether resides in all living things, as do natural mechanisms with the capacity to regulate it. This is simple life, not some mystical supernatural endowment. I concede, of course, that the heightened mental faculties of man allow for the potential to gain conscious control over those mechanisms. Indeed, it would appear that you and the simpleton monk have already achieved that end. The indiscretion and impertinence of youth. I suppose it can be forgiven once. In my own youth, I was not the model of perfection you see before you. I too have made what some might call mistakes. Not myself, but some. In our talks together, the simpleton monk often spoke of the 7th chakra. Its awakening is thought to be the highest achievement among the monkhood. I make it a habit to know the tenets of my intellectual enemies. It was the flow of the ether within the two of you which betrayed your falsehood. The whisper of your chakra, as I'm sure the monks would rush to call it. But serendipity most often visits the industrious. Just so, it is precisely these ethereal whispers which proved to be most intriguing. The waves of these sounds resonated perfectly with the ether of the battleground. I could see your vapid expression I can see by your vapid expression that you are missing my point. Allow me to spill it out. It follows that if one were to visit a battlefield with a certain ethereal wave amplitude and frequency, it would resonate with one's own ether. This is a phenomenal responsible. Wait. Oh, this is the phenomenon responsible for the initial opening of your own chakra. Oh, I cannot believe I am being reduced to speak in these terms. It stands to reason that for any ethereal wave, there may be a location that will resonate with them. Think of the implications, Alexander! If the 7th chakra the monks speak of truly exists, then so too must an ultimate battleground to bond with it. The concentration of ether in such a place must be unlike anything ever recorded. I forgive your past treachery. Guide me. Wait. I forgive your past treachery, guide me as it did to this great discovery. That, and I need you to do more work for me. Here, take this new etherometer. Make for Lark's Call in the East Shroud. My research indicates it is a very promising tract indeed. Set up the etherometer as you have others in the past, and then kill whatever you must to obtain a strong reading. Slaying beasts there will release the ether of the land they are steeped in, and it may resonate with your own. I suppose, in the privileged term of monkhood, that would translate to the expansion of your chakra. Oh, and you'll not be crossing paths with the simpleton monk this time. I'll be sending him to take readings at East End. What, in London? I've no intention of allowing you to conspire to impede my research again. If you care to know more about the events that have transpired at Lark's Call, I suggest you pay a visit to your local library. East End, on the other hand, is a fascinating subject of which I never tire speaking. Ask me about it any time if your curiosity ever gets the better of you. Well, that I certainly shall then. An honest inquiry. That said, wonderful moment when ignorant curiosity overcomes pride. Right then, let us begin. So, East End. East End is a town or a place in London. But not in this case. In this case, East End is just that. The eastern end of the Black Shroud. The Autumn War marked the beginning of hostilities between Ala Mhigan and Gridania. The first major victory in this war came at the First Battle of Tinolka, and it belonged to Ala Mhigan. Defeated, the Gridanians retreated to the safety of 5 hangs. The front was splintered, and afterwards they would resort to optimistic ambushes and the constant redeployment of troops to continue their reconnaissance. Or resistance, same thing. The Ala Mhigans, confident of ultimate victory, enjoined Gridania to surrender. As conditions, they demanded that all of the east and portions of the central SHROUD be relinquished, and perhaps more disturbingly, that the Seedseers be taken as wards of Ala Mhigan, where they would be met with no harm. Well, needless to say, Gridania refused. Providence was to be delivered to the firstborn by the neighbouring nation of Ishgard. Wary of Ala Mhigan's ambitions for the region, the sea appealed to Limsa and UL'DAH for aid. The 3 joined Gridania in her declaration of war against Ala Mhigan and sent troops to reinforce the front. But this war was far from a gesture of charity. It is easy to see what the motives of the sea were. Should certain sections of the Black Shroud be annexed to Ala Mhigan, Ishgard's southern and eastern borders would become extremely vulnerable to possible invasion. For their part, Limsa and UL'DAH had, well, virtually nothing to lose by entering into the war, and yet everything to gain by curbing the power of Ala Mhigan in the realm. Even more, victory would place Gridania in their debt. And so, it came to pass that these four great nations joined into a grand alliance to combat the advance of Ala Mhigan. The fight which was to follow would later be named the Second Battle of Tinolka. The heaviest and most devastating combat took place on a tract of land called East End. In the beginning, there were several small-scale skirmishes, but the Allied powers succeeded in foiling the stratagem of Ala Mhigan at every turn. Feeling the tide beginning to turn against them, Ala Mhigan dispatched its pikemen, known far and wide for their effectiveness against mounted units, such as the Knights of Ishgard. To rally the troops even more, King Manfred himself took to the field to lead them. At first, it seemed as though Ala Mhigan had succeeded in reversing its fortune. The Allies began to slow retreat towards East End. I just realised that's slightly off centre. That's better. There was a clever ploy, however, designed to lure the pikemen into the dense growths of the forest, where their long polearms would be unwieldy and, well, near useless. It was during these days that the archers of Gridania would prove their value beyond the bow, singing songs of heroism and glory in the field to bolster the Allied troops. It is said that this gave birth to the bard tradition. The archers of Gridania excelled at combat in the dense vegetation of the Black Shroud, and their arrows inflicted heavy casualties on the Ala Mhigans. In the end, General Gilbard was slain, King Manfred severely wounded, and Ala Mhigan completely and utterly defeated. And that is a brief summary of the history of East Shroud. The site of the end of the forest and the end of the war boat. Do you know, I can almost feel you getting less stupid, Alexander. Thanks. Alright, Locke's Core. Let's just check where that is. East Shroud. East, 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 Hawthorne Hut, East Shroud. East Shroud. I really like the essentially lore dumps that this gives you. It's very interesting to learn the histories of UL'DAH. Alright, so where are we going? Okay, so we want to go that way. Oh, we need to go around, don't we? So, Ala Mhigan does seem to be kind of like the enemy nation. Back before the whole thing with the Garlean bad people. I'm not entirely sure though. I really need to read up on history a little bit better. But it does seem like back before Garlemald rose to be the military power it is, Ala Mhigan was the problem with invasions and whatnot. But that was crushed out by the Alliance. Ba-bam! Oh no, look at the Sylvian blah blahs. I'll just go straight past them, thanks. So, how many chakras have we opened so far? Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3. Whoa! Things are actually attacking me! I didn't expect that, especially for the level that you're supposed to do this. Alright. Let's do this quickly before anything respawns. Oh! Ether-bound currents. Where's... Ah, whatever, I'll just kill you. I was going to use the AoE attack, but that didn't work out, did it? Any more? Yep, a third wave. Well, they're dead. Could have swore that I'd said that, but that makes sense that the shoulder attack would be that. Alright, let's pick up that theoremeter. Oh, and we're going straight back. Wait, what? Oh, the Banestool's angry at us. Okay, fair enough. Oops. No, that's not what I meant to do. And we'll use our last token. Quickly, before any of them turn around and notice me. Ah, well, that was, I guess, short and sweet. It would be much shorter if I'd not talked to him for the history lesson. So is it like every 2 that you get a cutscene? Because I'm pretty sure during the class quests you got like a mini cutscene of sorts every level. I mean, technically this one started with a forced perspective cutscene, but like it wasn't really necessary. Bum, ba, 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 ba. Well, I guess thank you for joining me for this history lesson again. I very much look forward to the readings of both you and UL'DAH's theoremeters. Sis, you've already finished. Then what are you standing there for? Come, come, give me the theoremeter. There you go. Amazing. Oh, simply amazing. And your soul crystal. It's glowing more vibrantly than ever before, is it not? I will begin my analysis of the data with all haste. You've come to be quite the model pupil, Alexander. Would that I could say the same of the monk simpleton. Ugh. I can see the feeble gears in your turning in your might. Come, there is no need to feel shame at your ignorance. If you wish to know what has transpired, you need only ask. I promise to use small words. One arm punch. Ba 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 ba. Oh, we are getting a cutscene now. No, yeah. You've opened a chakra. Idiot. I forgot about that. Alright, so... Ooh. We get some free gear next time. And good vibrations. Professor Eric wishes to speak with you about UL'DAH. Okay. Well, we got one arm punch, which is delivers an attack with a potency of 120, can only be used in raptor form, removes one beneficial status from the enemy or the target, changes form to quirl, duration 10 seconds, boom. So, thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed this history lesson, and I'll see you next time for something interesting, maybe? I don't know. See you then. Bye bye.